Dang, I kind of want to chill with this intro. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. I ain't in the mood to chill, though, Slay. It's playoff week.
You can't be. That's a chill mood right there, though. That, boom. Car ain't got no roof. One more time. Car ain't got no roof.
She laugh every time you do it.
We be in the city. Hey, yeah.
I love it.
Hey, no,
Rodger
real.
Saffold had meetings until 5 o'clock. It is 5:19. My man rolls up here in some Kansas Jayhawks shorts.
Hey, man.
What up, OG?
What's up, man? What's up?
OG
I had
in the
to
building.
make sure I pulled up, man, for real. I was like, oh, coach, I don't know if I can sit in here for this last 15 minutes.
I got somewhere to be.
Can you imagine? And Coach Brent was like, where you got me, Saffold? I got to go do 3HL, man.
Oh, I'm about to do this this child anything else. I'm
Something
about to help
for
some
the
kids in the
people,
hospital.
we had written you off, man, because we're like, hey, he's got better things to do. We all understand. Like, this is a big week, bro.
Yeah, it's a huge week, man. It's a huge week, and I love these weeks because these are the weeks, man, that your best football gets pulled out of you. These tough matchups.
I know you told us a few weeks ago that you had never been 12-year career. You'd never been a number one seed.
Right.
Have you ever had a bye week in the playoff?
Yes. The year I went to the Super Bowl, we were the number 2 seed. We had a bye week.
What? The only other time he had a bye week, they went to the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. Yep.
heard.
And we our first game after the bye week, we beat on the Dallas Cowboys pretty bad.
Spanked on them.
That bye week really helps.
Man,
We've been talking about that. I've never seen a more undisciplined team. You don't have to respond to that, but I mean, just like Cowboys fans had to just be sitting there watching 14 penalties fly around and a quarterback take off running with 14 seconds left and no timeouts, wondering what in the world.
What kills me is the fact that like somebody will commit a foul and then be looking at the ref like what, and then you look at the replay, it's the most egregious.
You're talking about Randy Gregory.
Yes.
Randy Gregory absolutely mauled the guy and tackled him and then got up saying, what?
Like, you had to feel it. Like what were you looking at?
Oh, my keg hurts from laughing. So what do you do on a bye? Like you said, you're going to spend time with your kids. Did you watch a lot of football like
Sure
all
did.
of us?
Sure did. I was able to fit everything in because I got the little NFL app, and plus on my way back to Nashville on Delta they had the live TV, so I was watching the games the whole time. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that fumble recovery by the Steelers, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then when they scored the next 3 possessions, I was like, oh, okay, everything's right.
Things back to normal. Yeah,
Things back to normal.
They gave a little hope, didn't they, for a
They
second?
sure did.
Yeah.
That was wild because, I mean, they had a great defensive game plan against Kansas City. They just they don't have the offense to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. I mean, too many times we saw over the weekend that people were starting. One team was starting from like the 40 and 50-yard line every series, and the other team was like from 5 to 10.
Yeah.
I mean, in the LA Rams Cardinals game, I didn't know what the Cardinals was going to do because they never got a chance to start on their own 25.
No. And I mean the Rams had a great game plan and they were running the football and you're right. I mean, Arizona just started deep in their own territory, and then Kyler Murray, I thought, started to press a little bit. Started to, as a young quarterback, doing this for the first time. It almost watching him felt like he was trying to do too much.
Yeah. So like he said at the beginning of the game that he wanted to treat it just like any other game. And
That's hard to do, isn't it?
I think that's good for a quarterback. The only thing is, without any experience, that's easier said than done.
There you go.
That's easier said than done. And, what we saw Kyler kind of go through was like he was stuck in quicksand. And the harder he fought, the deeper he sank. And that's kind of how the game went.
It's almost like his brain got locked up a little bit. Like that play where he threw the ball underhanded out of the end zone. I mean, he had all day to throw the football. It just looked like things were going slow in his head. And that to me, obviously I've never done it, but to me, you could explain that by simply saying that's playoff football. It's different.
Yeah, playoff football is faster. I think I was watching, I still follow the Rams on Twitter, and I think that Aaron Donald was talking about that, about how things are more physical and things are faster. That's true.
Yeah.
That's all true.
Yeah.
And especially from them teams with the bye week.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are flying around. And, I mean, the hitting is just every single one seems huge. That's why you've seen a lot of injuries go on all throughout Wild Card Weekend. It's been complete madness. I kind of think that the Rams got the short end of the stick on that one. how you gonna play on Monday, then got to play on Sunday.
That's
you got 1 day less, and you got to fly cross country.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, if you guys get the win, Buffalo and Kansas City play Sunday night.
That's
so
right.
then they have a short week.
Yeah, that's true. But
which is a benefit to the one seed, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely a benefit to the 1 seed.
Yeah.
But honestly, they play Sunday night. You got a game the next Sunday.
Right.
You know what I mean? It'd be different. I mean, that Monday night to Sunday night is pretty tough. It's pretty tough, especially if you need a whole day to fly over there.
And that's what I was telling them about, like what you were talking about with the difference in the playoff game. It's also, when you go to the playoff games, you can speak to this, when you go to the next round, it's different than the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've never been in it, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, you don't really understand the speed or how to go through it. But with you guys being vets, how much does that help knowing how to approach a game?
Well, the wild card weekend is more of a like, okay, handle the excitement, and then when you get into the flow of the game, do what you do,
Right.
offense and defense and special teams.
Right.
Make sure you guys are working together, because it's really training for the next round, because next round is going to be like, all right, whoever's the most efficient, whoever's going to have the least amount of penalties, the least amount of turnovers, and run the football better are going to be the people that win the game.
Right.
And then, of course, you get to the AFC Championship game, it's like all bets are off. It's like it doesn't matter what you do. You scratch, you claw, you do whatever you can to get this final win before you go to the Super Bowl.
as a veteran, are there conversations you can have? Are there things you can say to some of the guys that haven't been in this position to maybe help them with what playoff football is?
Man, I've thought long and hard about this one, because every single person is different, and you don't want to overload these young players into making mistakes. So I think that the best thing that you could tell them is just to cut it loose. Don't worry about the mistakes. Just worry about each play. You know, I have the pleasure of working with some sports psychology guys.
Yeah.
And it's all about hitting that reset after each play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as an offensive lineman, you like to dwell on the last play. That's just what you like to do. But you know, hitting that reset button allows you to just kind of forget about the last play and just focus on what's in front of you. And for young guys, I think that matters a lot.
Yeah, that's big time.
That's what people used to tell me about Marcus Mariota, because like they felt like that he would get locked up mentally and that he would overthink things and that he just needed to, and the phrase was always let it rip.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, that's kind of the phrase, right? Like, just go out there and do what you do. Do your job and let it rip.
When we see Mariota let it rip, he does some things that we've never seen any other quarterback do. I mean, when he took a quarterback draw like 85 yards, I was just like, how? You know what I mean? Like how? It seems like it's impossible. But he's always been like that. So it's like, if he just cuts it loose, he's gonna make people miss. He's gonna make things happen. He's gonna have that crazy play where they tipped the pass at Kansas City and he caught it and scored in the playoffs. I mean, that was
there.
unbelievable.
That was wild.
I was there.
Unbelievable.
That was wild.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope he gets another shot somewhere else, because the Raiders did try to use him a little bit this year. The longest run of their season until the playoff game was his run in the first drive of the first game, and then he got hurt.
Right.
But great dude, you know. Always want what's best for him.
Always want another shot, because when you got a dual threat quarterback like that, he needs to be used in this league. Yeah. Now, you don't know exactly what system that works with when you got people like Mahomes now. You know what I mean? Just sitting in the pocket and just throwing dimes everywhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, all right, where does it fit in with today's football? It's like Kansas City Chiefs or like the Golden State Warriors at one time. And it's like, all right, how can we make our team to be able to beat that team? So it's kind of going back and forth with having the mobile quarterback and having the pocket passer. Yeah,
and he's kind of both. And then he throws like to me, I always think about like those baseball highlights where the shortstop goes way to his right, backhands the ball and throws it across the field. That's what he looks like when he throws the football to me. And he's got a baseball pass, and his dad played baseball, but he flicks the wrist instead of just flat out spinning it, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if you can even like deconstruct that and go back after it. I mean, that probably would take a lot of coaching, a lot of work in the offseason, but
right.
But honestly, we've seen what Mariota can do. So I would be shocked if he didn't get another shot.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate going down that path, but there you go. Some Mariota talk here. Rodger Saffold with us on 3HL. Obviously, Titans Bengals coming up on Saturday at 3:30. You anticipate Nissan Stadium being live and rocking and rolling and loud.
Oh my goodness, yes, I absolutely do. And I just want it so blue in there people get sick. You know what I mean? That's what I need. That's what I need. And you know, we come over here and we handle business, the first thing I'm doing before anybody even knows who plays in the next game, I'm like, hey, buy your tickets now.
Yeah.
Buy your tickets right now.
Yeah.
Before they even know.
Yeah.
Just load up.
I love it.
Building ain't got no roof. Right?
No, at all.
Winter is coming.
Oh, there it is. So we've launched a movement here on 3HL. We want that played in the fourth quarter. Like the Steelers play Renegade and everybody loses their mind. We want that played in the fourth quarter.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should.
You're down with that?
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
See, they go to cosign. They go to stamp. It's official.
That's all we need.
It's official.
The Saffold
It's
stamp.
official.
Can you imagine kicking off to that?
I told you. I told you. Hey, man, it's different, man. And all you need is that first part of the beat.
Oh, that's it.
And let that thing bang. Oh, my God.
Somebody
it's
said
gonna be on.
after every Derrick Henry carry, just play that little opening part of that beat.
It's going to go
People
down.
lose their mind. Do you have a pregame ritual? Like Ben Jones walks around with bare feet no matter what's going on.
Yeah.
It could be 0 degrees with snow on the field.
That's right.
And he's doing that. What's your like pregame ritual? Like Steve McNair used to go to sleep. He would take a nap.
Oh, wow.
That's
I
tough.
can't do that.
That's tough. That is tough.
I can't do that.
That's tough right there.
But you know, usually for me, I just got to make sure I get in that hot tub. It's all about getting me as loose as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want to be ready to go for the game so I can really cut it loose. I'm gonna be hurting tomorrow, but you know, I get loose for that game.
Yeah. You feel it when you came back into town this week? You feel the energy? You feel it a little different? Even outside y'all complex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody was wearing hats on the first class of that Delta flight. And then I get on there, we sit down, we're watching the game. I see about 5 Titans hats. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, we here now.
Yeah.
And we're coming from Salt Lake City, Utah. I was like, man, it was incredible. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I'm so excited to see, see how the fans react to possibly getting Derek back.
Yeah.
I mean, he step on that field, I might go deaf.
We saw videos today, man, and he was cutting between 2 guys, and he was unloading.
Oh yeah,
and like Tuzar skipper, God love him, looked like he didn't want it.
He's just taking free beatings, man. Ain't nobody with that, man.
Hey, it's tough on his part because it's like, all right, I want to thud him so that Derek can start getting used to hitting again, but then it's also like, all right, I can't hurt this man. I need to keep this job. I still got bills.
Yeah, can't explain that going back.
Hey, you mentioned Aaron Donald earlier. I'm curious, when you were with the Rams, did you do ones versus ones? Did you go up against that guy?
Yeah, so it was kind of weird. Like, we did a little bit more one-on-ones in the past than we did with my last couple of years in there. I think the guys are just trying to keep people from getting hurt, and they were like, hey, we're going to learn more from just playing ball anyway.
Fishbone is very veteran friendly, let's say.
Yeah.
In terms
100%.
of managing time and all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when he first came, I mean, dude was so fast. I think he was 300 pounds back then. He was so fast and he was so low to the ground. I mean, it was a challenge every play.
Yeah.
And then when he started really getting it, it became even harder. And everybody talks about how angry he get on the field, how he always want to fight somebody. I'm like, listen, I have played against this guy. I've hit him as hard as I possibly can. I have never had a fight with him once.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a respect thing than anything. And sometimes, when you're on top, everybody wants a piece of you, and people are like, I'm not going to be bullied.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, just because you don't want to be bullied don't mean I'm going to be bullied. And that's when you start seeing him unload on people.
Well, I thought it was interesting that the build-up to that Rams game that y'all played, and nobody gave y'all a chance to win that game.
Right.
But the little side note there was Big Jeff getting an opportunity to show everybody that Aaron Donald's not the only defensive tackle in the league, right? And he comes up with 3 sacks that day.
Yeah, huge.
Do you see some of Aaron Donald and Big Jeff?
No, I think they play 2 completely different play styles. I mean, Aaron uses his quickness, and he has power too. Like, don't get me wrong.
But he's
he can
quick
catch people.
twitch.
He can catch people off guard with worried about his quickness, and then he'll run down the middle of you. Jeff is like, hey, I'm about to bull rush you, but you can't stop it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna go ahead and say it. His hardest reps was in training camp, and he know that, and he just unloads on people, and I love watching it. I'm his biggest fan. But, in training camp, we hate each other.
So, right. So your mindset in training camp is, like, to get better. Like, any competitive person wants to get better every day, right? Like, that's the whole goal.
You should hear the John going on between the two of us.
Yes, but you
great.
also understand, like, I can make this guy better by
100%.
giving him my best.
100%. And, our Coach Vrabel would talk about it all the time, and then even when we have, like, a tough day where we're both kind of arguing on the field, we'll come off the field and we'll just say iron sharp as iron.
Yeah, it is.
And that's all you need to say. It's a respect thing after that because, we got to the point where we started asking each other about, hey, what did you see? How did you stop my rush?
Gosh, that's a great place to be, isn't it?
That veteran leadership, it's almost made Jeff mature way faster than I've seen other rookies mature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why he's captain. That's why he, helps lead the squad in pregame warmups. And, that little bit of leadership all over the field has taken this team where it needs to go.
That's big, man.
What do you see from the Bengals? Obviously, like, Joe Mixon is the kind of guy, like, if you just look at the numbers, you'll see 3 100-yard games.
Yeah.
He is third in carries in the NFL, third in yardage. But he's such a talented player at so many different things, right?
Yes, 100%. He does a great job of being able to feel where his blocks are.
Yeah.
And he's going to just hit that gap as hard as humanly possible. A lot of those guys, if they're reaching out for an arm tackle, you're going to still see the lineman connected. And that's when they're going to keep driving them. And then he finds a way to slip through. He uses good quickness. And, his screen game is pretty legit. It's pretty legit.
And the reason why I ask you that question is I assume, being an offensive lineman, you like to see what other offensive lines and run game fits look like and things like that as an analyst, like watching football. So that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, because it's like when you play in the NFL, it's hard to not watch your position.
Yeah.
When people are on the field. So I love watching all the games, and I got to get all the recaps. So, I kind of look for those things when I'm watching these guys. And plus, when Derek was healthy, we were looking at those numbers. Like, we're like, all right, we got a comfortable lead at 300 yards in front of everybody. Yeah. And then, of course,
he's still ninth in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Playing 8 games, not playing 9. He's ninth in the NFL.
That's right.
And he was on pace. He would have beaten JT by 190 yards.
Yeah.
And we all know that he gets going toward the end of the season. He would have been over 2,000, which I know you said in the offseason to us that was important to you.
Right. It was. It was very important to me. But then, of course, after he got injured, we were just trying to make sure that he was just okay physically and mentally. It's kind of like that Cam Akers situation, tear your Achilles. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to be able to even play. He comes out there, he plays. Last night, he looked great. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was laying the smack down when he was running downhill. He looked quick. And that's the same thing with Derek. Derek came back. Derek coming back around this time is just huge. Honestly, I feel like he could have came back even earlier, and we were just being smart about it. Yeah. But, the way that he attacked his rehab, there was no shot that we didn't think he was coming back.
Yeah. I remember you said that. You said, man, this man he's attacking it effortlessly and ferociously all at the same time. Like, nobody works harder than him. So, yeah, that's good to see him back, man.
All right, let's take a break. We got more Rodger Saffold, nice enough to come after the team meeting to Buffalo Wild Wings in Cool Springs. We will also pull the name of the winner of the Titans Bengals tickets. We'll do that in the next segment, and that's a tough one to get.